way to divide ourselves, now we have adopted our enemy's culture of divide and conquer. And I know a lot of people may not understand that we are at war, or even what war looks like. Now, when we say the word war, I guess the first thought that comes to mind is guns, violence, death, very overt, very in your face. However, for me, when I look at my people, I understand that a lot of times so-called black people, they're not really clear or educated on how these things work within their true nature. So when we're dealing with war, we have to understand there's an art to it. This is an art form. It's called the art of war for a reason. So now when we're dealing with the art of war, war isn't just some overt thing where you just go and punch somebody in the face or shoot them or something like that. War is mental. Before the war can even start, you have to be here mentally. When I talk about war, a lot of times the responses I receive is in a mentality of chess. It's really a basic response. You know, you jump me, I'm gonna jump you. And that's the full extent of it. You know, I talk to black people, let's get our guns. And that's it, you know. When the reality is we're playing chess, not checkers. So war is going to be more sophisticated. War is going to be more mental. If the family sees war as something physical, if the family sees war as something more physical than mental, you've already lost the war. If you see war as something physical and not mental, you have already lost the war. Because when people say war is chess, when people say this is chess, not checkers, they're talking about this is mental. This is a thinking man's game. When we're dealing with war, this is a thinking man's game. If you have a gun and you think because you have a gun, you're ready for war, you couldn't be more mistaken. And this is what they play on. They're looking for you to have a really basic understanding and a basic response to what they're doing so that you're going to be you melanin warriors, a piece to the family. If you want to come on and talk about colorism, I'd love to have you. But nonetheless, when we're dealing with colorism, this stems from a war tactic that we all know from slavery called the... Anytime I'm trying to think, I got to take a deep breath. Oxygen helps me think. The Jim Crow, not Jim Crow. Willie Lynch, that's it. The Willie Lynch letter could have been titled The Art of War. The Willie Lynch letter could have easily been titled The Art of War, because in the Willie Lynch letter were war tactics. They said one of the tactics in the Willie Lynch letter is that we're going to place light skin against dark skin. And for the simple fact that the family does not understand what war is, what war looks like, and for the most part, the family believes all they need to do is get a gun to be able to fight the war, they have lost the war before it even started. We as a people have lost the war before it even started, for the simple fact that we have already played into their military propaganda machine. When we perpetuate ideas like colorism, this is a part of a military tactic of divide and conquer. However, the family doesn't recognize that, because for the most part, the family is playing chess and not checkers. So now when we're dealing with colorism, a lot of women, and I think I've heard Dr. Umar, he was probably the first person I heard say this. There are dark-skinned mothers who will tell their sons, you better not get with a dark-skinned woman. If you can't understand the psychological ramifications that's going to have on a young man, if you don't understand the psychological journey a woman would have to go through to even come to that conclusion, then there's no way you could even win the war. If you think you're going to defeat that war with a gun, that's like shooting an idea. If there's an idea out there and it's a toxic idea, and your best attempt to get rid of that idea is to grab a gun and say, Crumb, we need to go to war with these people, then clearly clearly you don't understand when I say, family, this is chess, not checkers. They'd be like, oh, we're going to go to war. Crumb, we need a revolution. Family, if you believe your revolution is going to come at the barrel of a gun, you've already lost the war, and you are guaranteed to never have a revolution. The revolution is in the mind. We're playing chess, not checkers. This is a thinking man's game. And generally speaking, our people aren't thinking. We're at a very basic, rudimental level of where we cannot identify anything psychological. I was talking to my sister. Well, no. Let's go back to the Umar. Umar said that there was a dark-skinned woman who told her dark-skinned son he better not have a baby with a woman that looks like his mama. The mama has taught the son to not like women that look like her. That's colorism. That's a psychological war that you cannot win physically. You can't physically attack an idea. To overcome these ideas, you're going to have to think your way out of this. When they say think outside the box, to think outside the box, a gun will not help you. A military will not help you. This is a thinking man's game. And every single time I talk to the family about revolution, every time I talk to the family about war, every time I talk to the family about how are we going to get past these obstacles, they automatically start talking checkers to me. And it's a very discouraging reality that the family cannot fathom a solution that is mental. Every solution is physical. You can't defeat a non-tangible enemy with a tangible solution. This enemy is in the mind. So for us to have our revolution, it is not going to require us to come together in a picnic. It's not going to require us to go and firebomb anybody's house. I don't care if you firebomb your government. Not saying you're American or you're in my country. I don't care where you are or who you are. If you say, Crumb, well, I appreciate all that talking that you're doing, but yesterday me, my mom, and my sister, we firebombed our government, and that was our solution. Well, that's great that you firebombed the government in your country. However, that does not do anything for the mother who just told her son, I want you to hate women who look like me. That doesn't do anything for the people. And let me go into another aspect. When we first integrated as a people, we integrated into schools first. It was Brown versus Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas, 1954. In that landmark case, it was being headed by a lawyer named Thurgood Marshall, who would go on to be a Supreme Court justice. Thurgood Marshall did not win that case by himself because he knew what he had to do. He had to outthink them. And once he outthought them, they absorbed him into the machine. They absorbed him into the machine. If there's an attorney who is smart, who they cannot absorb into the machine, they will kill him. That's why we've never seen a attorney as good as Thurgood Marshall since OJ's attorney. I forgot if anybody knows OJ's attorney's name, can you please put his name in the comments? I forgot his name. My apologies. And OJ's attorney was trying to put a numerical value on what we were owed from reparations right before he died of cancer or whatever BS. You know, it's the same thing as Bob Marley. They're not going to outright kill us. They're going to kill you indirectly. You know, they're either going to find another person that looks like you to do it. They're going to, they're going to use chemical warfare. It's going to be something to make it look like it was just your time. So now, Thurgood Marshall, what he did was he solicited a thinker. Cochran. I'm sorry. Thank you. Johnny Cochran. Salute to the family. It was Johnny Cochran. So now, we haven't seen an attorney like Thurgood Marshall. I'm sorry, we haven't seen an attorney like Johnny Cochran since Thurgood Marshall. They absorbed Thurgood Marshall. They said, we're going to absorb you into the white ranks. You are too dangerous and powerful to be over in the black community on your side. And Thurgood Marshall sold out. Johnny Cochran did not sell out. Johnny Cochran defended a black man who killed a white woman and won. And then the next thing you're going to do is try to work towards reparations. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. So now Thurgood Marshall had solicited Kenneth and Mamie Clark. Kenneth and Mamie Clark were two psychologists who did a doll test. We're talking about colorism, so I need you to follow me. They did the doll test because I'm going somewhere with this. When I say follow me, I mean mentally, because I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with this, family. Kenneth and Mamie Clark did the doll test, and simply what they did, and it was Mamie's idea. Kenneth just came along and supported the woman. At the end of the day, it was a woman's idea on how to bust down the psychological warfare that has led that colorism has been a part of. So she got these two dolls, one black, one white. I'm sure if you're even halfway conscious, so to speak, hopefully you're familiar with the doll test, but if not, I'll give you a real basic rundown. Mamie, when she was in college, she wrote her thesis that she got her degree. Mamie's degree was... I heard something, family. They not gonna get me. The enemy at the gate, sniper. There he is. He said too much. Get him out of here. Mamie, when she was trying to get her degree, she wrote a thesis, and her thesis was based on an experiment that she conjured called the doll test. Her husband, who was another psychologist, found out she did the doll test and helped her carry on that experiment. So now they get two dolls, identical, except for the color. Black skin, brown eyes, or brown skin, brown eyes, and then one with pale skin and blue eyes. And they put 3- and 4-year-old children in front of these dolls and asked them, which is the pretty doll, which is the ugly doll, which is the good doll, which is the bad doll, so on and so forth. Which doll do you resonate with? And it showed a shocking result that black children, so-called black children, from a very young and tender age already understand their position in this world as less than, as bad, as ugly. And these are the things that have been perpetuated because they're not playing chess. They're not playing checkers, they're playing chess. And these are the things that have been perpetuated through so-called white supremacy to defeat us mentally. Because if a person is scared of you, they will not fight you. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. I've been scared of people and I fought them. I was scared every fight I got into. I've never fought anybody smaller than me. Every fight I got into, they were all bigger than me. I was scared every single time, but I fought. So I'm not saying if you're scared, you're not going to fight. What I'm saying is that if if a person outthinks you, then they've already won the war. All my boxing fans may remember a landmark and iconic fight called Rumble in the Jungle. Not Thriller in Manila, Rumble in the Jungle, between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. Everybody bet on George Foreman. He was younger, He was at the peak of his career, and Muhammad Ali was old, and he had already lost all of his accolades because he didn't want to go and fight in the war. So then when Muhammad Ali gets George Foreman in the ring, Muhammad Ali don't punch him. Muhammad Ali created something called the okie doke. He did the okie doke. Not only did he do well, that's not necessarily pertaining to that. In that particular fight, Muhammad Ali defeated George Foreman mentally. So when George Foreman swung, Muhammad Ali was like, you hit like a girl. George Foreman swung again. That's as hard as you can hit. George Foreman swung again. Boy, that's all you got? Rope-a-dope. Thank you, Raw Works Studio. I wanted to acknowledge you. You're on point. You've been on point this whole conversation, and you've said a lot of things. But I just want to acknowledge you I just want to acknowledge you within that particular comment. Nonetheless, so now, even George Foreman will tell you, Muhammad Ali defeated me mentally. Muhammad Ali did not defeat George Foreman because he was stronger than him, because he was faster than him, because he was a better fighter than him. Muhammad Ali was smarter than George Foreman. The reason why we are losing the war is because we are trying to fight a physical war, and the European understands that the war is mental. You will never defeat a chess player playing checkers. So for all my family who says, Crumb, we need to get our guns, family, in this game, your guns are useless. To all the family that's talking about Crumb, I'll punch a white person in the face. Family, I don't care if you punch a white person in the face or not. That does nothing. A white person can be, and white people will tell you, hey, I got black friends. White people don't have to be your enemy for this to work in their favor. And you do not have to be the white man's enemy for this to work in your favor. You need to understand the mentalism behind the issues that we face. So colorism is one of the biggest issues in terms of racism. When we're dealing with colorism, we're dealing with a strategy to help them get us to attack ourselves to complete their mission. There was a president, and I'm not even going to go into that part. Let's just stick with colorism. In terms of colorism, there was Bob Marley. Bob Marley is half white, or so-called white. I don't know if you have been aware of that or not, but Bob Marley, is so-called half white. So Bob Marley suffered. Well, I don't know if he suffered from colorism, where black people treated him a certain type of way because he wasn't full-blown so-called black. However, what we are dealing with to get these light-skinned people that aren't accepted is from black people who don't understand the dangers of creating these divisions. So Bob Marley goes to his father and says, hey, I'm your son. You should love me. He goes to him once he's established a career. And his father says, I don't care how rich you are. You still an N-word to me. So Bob Marley goes back and writes the song, I am the stone that the builder refuses, that the builder refused. This is only to highlight the fact that this colorism thing comes from us, initially getting raped. Because we know that the cave beasts, the Tamahu, whatever you want to call them, when they go on their campaigns, whether it be a military campaign, whether it be an exploration campaign, whether it be a religious campaign, the one thing that's always associated with any campaign they have is sex. In terms of sex, we're talking about rape. Christopher Columbus was a masked rapist. A lot of their clergy, their monks, their religious class, they were masked rapists. A lot of their pioneers, they were mass rapists. So then they created these light-skinned people, and they recognize when we create the light-skinned people, we're going to use those light-skinned people. We'll treat them just a little bit better, and we'll get them to go against the dark-skinned people. So now with Bob Marley, this is what I keep telling our sisters. Stop sleeping with white people. Oh, not even just our sisters, our people. Stop sleeping with white people thinking they like us. The only reason white people sleep with you is because they have a fetish. Bob Marley's father don't like black people. Bob Marley's father had a fetish. Bob Marley's father don't like black people. Bob Marley's father just saw a woman who was exotic. Y'all sitting here thinking white people really like you. And even if it's not the father, let's say the father, he had a change of heart and he liked Bob Marley. Bob Marley's grandfather still don't like him. Bob Marley's aunts and uncles still don't like him. So now what happened is that we have black people, so-called black people, who believe that the so-called white people really do like them. They have sex with them. And then the children who are the outcome of this fake love are caught in the middle, where they're too dark to be accepted by one side of the family and they're too light to be accepted by the other side of the family. And now they're caught between colorism and racism. And I want to confirm to the family right now, before anybody tries to make this personal, because a lot of times they want to make it about you and me versus us as a people. We as a people, we don't think collectively. We think personally. That's our issue. Asians, they think and operate collectively. Arabs, they think and operate collectively. White people, they think and operate collectively. When you say these things to a black person, a so-called black person, they'll say, well, Crumb, nuh-uh, because my aunt, family, your aunt don't have nothing to do with the collective. Your aunt is an individual. When we're talking about the collective, how does your aunt even come into the situation? You are thinking on an individual mindset. Until you understand we, the people, then you won't understand what I'm talking about. Because if you try to make this about you or make it personal, then you're getting away from the topic. But people are like, well, I was with a white man and my husband's, my children's father loves my children. Okay, well, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? Absolutely nothing. Because you're talking about something individual versus the collective. So let's just get individual for just a second. Some people will say, well, Crumb, how could you be talking about this? Ain't your mama white? Ain't your daddy white? Now, of course, I'm not saying these people are saying that as if they know me. I'm saying that they're talking out of their butthole. They're just reaching. So for the family, before you even have a chance to reach on me, to make it personal and make it about me or make it about you or make it about your aunt, let me just clarify for the family, both my parents are melanated. My mama melanated and my daddy melanated, and ain't nobody in my family ever said, hey, I want you to pay homage to the white side of your family. Everybody was very clear and matter of fact about it. The reason, my family told me, hey, Crumb, the reason you look the way you look is because of rape. It's because of rape. So when y'all try to identify with white people, like, Crumb, I can't be racist. I'm half white. Well, the white side of your family don't like you. When the slave master got your mama pregnant, it wasn't that he liked her or liked you or that you are accepted by them. You may not understand, to light-skinned family, you're a bastard. You're a bastard. Your father may accept you, but you're not in the family will. You're not in the family's trust. When a slave master, when slavery was over in December 6, 1865, and a slave master got reparations, the light-skinned children didn't receive any of that. However, the light-skinned children had a place, and their place was against the dark-skinned. So Massa would give them a little bit extra. I can't put you in the will. I can't give you my last name. I can't let you sleep in the house. I can let you sleep in the house. Lunchtime. you know. So now when we're dealing with colorism, we're dealing with a group of people who are in the same group as the larger group, but now they're against that group, the larger group. We're going to see this in Haiti. I was following a brother by the name of Brother Hassan. Well, I do follow a brother by the name of Brother Hassan. He's an Haitian, but he's a part of the so-called conscious community and a very active brother. And he said something that really blew my mind, even though it should not have. He said, the light-skinned people in Haiti are Haiti's biggest threat. The light-skinned people of Haiti is Haiti's worst enemy. That's colorism, family. I was talking to my brother Taz, the Taz Show. If you're not familiar with the Taz Show, he's on Instagram and on Facebook, with business page on Facebook. Please go subscribe, follow, or do whatever. I think the Taz Show's on YouTube as well. So yeah, subscribe on YouTube, follow on the gram, and follow him on Facebook, Taz Show. I was talking to my brother Taz, and Taz was telling me, because when we're dealing with Haiti, Haiti is not an island. Haiti is a part of an island, I saw a meme. It said, never trust anybody who thinks Africa is a country. Africa is a continent. Haiti is not an island. Haiti is part of an island. United States is not a continent. United States is a part of a continent. When folks say Haiti, they automatically think of an island. When folks say America, they automatically think of the United States. Mexico is a part of America. South America is a part of America. Canada is a part of America. Just like when we deal with Haiti, that island, Dominican Republic, is a part of that island. Now, Dominican Republic, in terms of economy, is doing very well over Haiti. So what the Haitians will do when it's time to go to market, there are no sustainable markets in Haiti. So they'll go to the border and go to the Dominican market. When the Haitians go to the Dominican market, when it opens up, the first Haitians that are allowed to do business in the Dominican market are the light-skinned Haitians. So now we're going to see, in terms of institutional racism, there's levels to this, family. There's prejudice, there's racist, there's institutional racism. So now when we're talking about institutional racism, which is the highest form of racism across the land, that's what we're going to see where they incorporate colorism. Now, I know Haiti is one of the richest countries in the world in terms of resources. There was a sister who even compared Haiti to Wakanda in terms of resources. However, we're not talking about resources, family. I made sure to use the word market to make sure we're all on the same page. So please follow me. We're not talking about resources. We're talking about market. Haiti has resources. Haiti does not have a market. So they don't go to Dominican Republic for resources. They go to the Dominican Republic for market. I said market, family. I need you to follow me on this. So now when the Dominicans have to allow the Haitians to come over, they allow the light-skinned ones first. Now, depending on how much commerce goes on, and there's enough, then at that point they will let the dark-skinned one in. But let's say, there's only 3 peaches for sale today. Those 3 peaches go to the light-skinned people first. This is colorism. This is colorism, family. So when we're dealing with this war, it's chess, not checkers. It's deeper than just our enemy being a black man. A so-called white man. There was a speech by Farrakhan, and Farrakhan really received a scathing review by the conscious community of the 70s and 80s. Now, when I go up against these Nation of Islam people, for the most part, they don't even know their history. So there's nothing to debate. You can't debate 1 + 1 with somebody who doesn't understand what the number 1 is, or the quantitative value of the number 1. So I don't even bother with these people. However, Farrakhan in one of his rallies, I'm sorry, in one of his lectures, or whatever you may call it, one of his sermons, had perpetuated colorism. He said how wavy hair was more desirable to him, how it was more beautiful to him over curly hair, or what he called nappy hair. Fair skin. Now, fair may be an old school word. Light skin, bright skin, whatever you want to call it, is more desirable than dark skin. You know, I could play the video. I'm not even going to bother with that. But nonetheless, Farrakhan was perpetuating colorism. These are divisive military strategies to keep us separated, weak, docile, and therefore easy to control. Just like when I tell you guys, religion is a form of control. Our religious leaders are issuing this military propaganda as a form of control, because the non-melanated people are less than 10% of the world. How does a small man defeat a big man? How does one man defeat 100 men? Well, I've said this several times. I'd rather be in an army full of sheep led by a lion than an army full of lions led by a sheep. We're dealing with a mental approach at that point. The whole thing is mental. So now when we're dealing with colorism, we're dealing with a people who have been set against their own people. It was said, I apologize, I can't remember which of the master teachers. Every time I think, I automatically say Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, but I know for a fact it was not Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. It was not Sheikh Anta Diop. I forgot who it was, but they wrote a book, The Fall of Black Civilization. Who wrote the book, The Fall of Black Civilization? That might not be the exact name, but I know somebody on this feed knows who I'm talking about. Who wrote the book, The Fall of the Black Civilization? Once that person tells me, I will tell you what. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to wait for somebody to say. I'll just say what he wrote in the book, The Fall of the Black Civilization. In the book, hold on, who is this? Who is this? Carbon Force. You know what? Let me just take a quick second. The name Carbon Force, when you're dealing with a person with the name Carbon Force, you automatically know you're dealing with somebody who go hard. You automatically know you're dealing with somebody who go hard. Carbon Force. Also, my brother Wasp Red. I've been dealing with him for a while. Well, you know what? I'm about to get embarrassed. Everybody knew that but me. Shout out to the family. So it's a whole bunch of people, they know that. I'm the only one who didn't know that. Okay, you know what? Let's just put that out there. Nonetheless, peace to all the family. Chancellor Williams wrote the book called The Fall of Black Civilization. In the book, The Fall of Black Civilization, Chancellor Williams, Dr. Chancellor Williams, peace be unto him, Dr. Chancellor Williams said the fall of black civilization came upon our people. Shout out to Brother Taz. He just put a link in here. Let me read the link. The title says Dominican Republic Haitian deportation. So in terms of colorism, in that realm, you know, there is some a third party reference. Peace and love to the brother Taz. And my sister, the wellness mentor. I love that name as well. You know, she has my back, and I just want to acknowledge and be grateful to her. So Chancellor Williams in the book, The Fall of the Black Civilization, had said that the mulatto class was the fall of the black civilization. And we're going to see colorism's head pop up, because at that time, racism was in full force. There was no such thing as amalgamism, you know. And for the family who may not be familiar with that word, I apologize. I hate using these college words. When I was growing up, they used the college words on me, and that was a part of why I didn't understand what they were talking about. So let's keep it in layman terms. Instead of saying amalgamism, we say jungle fever. You know, a part of why I'm special, or people tell me, because I keep it hood. You know, if you may not be familiar with the word amalgamism, but hopefully you're familiar with the idea of jungle fever. So jungle fever was the fall of humanity, because we knew not to mess with other things. You know, there's no such thing as race. There's no such thing as black. There's no such thing as white. No such thing as Latino, Hispanic, Mexican, Puerto Rican. All these labels the family makes up, those things are fictitious within nature. There's only one race. That's the human race. So when you say, Crumb, what about these other races? These other races are not 100% human. We are the only humans, family. So when we mess with these other races, they're less than human. Some people would call messing with a non-melanated person bestiality. So at one point in time, we didn't have to worry about amalgamation, or what the family may call jungle fever. So the fall of the black civilization, according to Chancellor Williams, was when melanated men decided to stick their penis into females that weren't quite human. The fall of black civilization was melanated men having sex with these things that weren't quite human. When we look at the word Neanderthal, I want the family to understand. Go watch my video, RH blood, and I define the word simian. A Neanderthal is a simian, a type of monkey. Non-melanated people, or who we call the so-called white man, is simian. When the studies tell you that white people, so-called white people, are Neanderthals, or they have Neanderthal traits or Neanderthal genes or Neanderthal blood, that a Neanderthal is a simian, a type of monkey or an ape. So when we amalgamate, we're not amalgamating with different races. Oh, black versus white. No. There's no such thing as race. There's only one race. That's the human race. When we amalgamate, this is a form of bestiality. You're messing with animal. You're having sex with an animal that has human characteristics, but it's not human. Do you know why having sex with sheep is so popular? Because the sheep vagina has strong similarities to a human woman's vagina. That's why people who practice bestiality prefer having sex with sheep. So when we amalgamated and created this light-skinned people, let me make this personal. Let me make this personal, family. If you look at me, you can tell that I'm not 100% original. The original people, they may have been brown, but if you see me in real life, you'd be like, damn, Crumb, you light-skinned. I don't know if you can tell how light I am on the phone, but if you were to see me in real life, especially during winter, family, especially during winter, you'd be like, bruh, you be talking that black power stuff, but you ain't all black. I don't need Ancestry.com to tell Crumb ain't all black. Family, I know I probably have some of that DNA in me from amalgamation, or maybe from rape, or from something. But, when we're dealing with colorism, Chancellor Williams said it started from amalgamation. We started messing with these animals that looked human. Until this day, a lot of you out here will swear out they're human. Family, they're not human. And if they are, they're not 100% human. You are 100% human. Your white lover is 90%. It's 90% family. That's not a full human you've fallen in love with. You ever seen the movie Beauty and the Beast? They've been perpetuating this form of amalgamism for a very long time in efforts to create a new race. This is the same thing as the story of Yaqub. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the story of Frankenstein. It's alive! They've always been interested in creating a new race. It's called playing God. So now when they created this new race of bright-skinned people, of light-skinned people, now we're dealing with the book, The Fall of the Black Civilization, written by Chancellor Williams. I don't want you to think this is Crumb's opinion. Crumb is making this up. Crumb didn't do the research. Don't debate me. Debate the master teacher. Go debate the master teacher. He's put in thousands of hours of research. You've put in none. I'd love to see that debate. Nonetheless, not saying you've put in none. If somebody wants to debate Chancellor Williams, I would consider you comical at the best. To debate Chancellor Williams, you're going to have to really, that's like a rich man taking advice from a poor man. Rich people don't take advice from broke people. A broke man can't tell you how to get money. I don't think a rich person would make a poor man his financial advisor. So So for somebody to debate Chancellor Williams, you'd have to really be a heavyweight in the game. So now Chancellor Williams said, once this new light-skinned race was invented, to say the least, this is where the colorism took place. This is how the black civilization fell. So now we already know, for the most part, collectively, we don't mess with the animals. But now we have this group of people that is of our lineage, of our bloodline. And now they've been mixed with the animals. However, they've been mixed with us too. How do we deal with them? This is colorism. So initially, according to Chancellor Williams, we embraced them. Now, here's the thing. After we embraced them, this is ancient Africa, ancient Al-Kabalan. When ancient Al-Kabalan embraced the mixed breed of children who were mixed with part animal to have a lighter hue, somewhat like mine, or probably a lot like mine, then those children who had some type of allegiance to their animal family, those were the people that were the fall of the black civilization. So initially, the fall of the black civilization was our coon-ass men who wanted to have sex with animals, or tamahu, or I guess, for lack of a better word, so-called white people. And then once those children were born, then from racism is born colorism. So now these children, they're, again, just like Bob Marley. Well, I'm not going to say like Bob Marley, because we accepted Bob Marley. A lot of family doesn't even realize Bob Marley is a half-breed. A lot of family don't even know that. So maybe Bob Marley's not a great example. But, these children are caught, in a catch-22 where they're too light to be fully accepted by the darks, and they're too dark to be fully accepted by the whites, by the whatever you call them, tamahu. And they now, surprisingly, they side with the tamahu. They side with the tamahu. You know what, family? I apologize. I don't know what time I started this live. I really need to start keeping check, because every single time I go live, I only have an hour on Instagram, so it cuts me off, and I never get to say my closing statements. But my apologies. I don't know how long I've been on. I would assume I've been on for about 35 minutes now. I'm about halfway done. But nonetheless, so now when we're dealing with these half-breeds, even though they're not accepted by either side, the dominant society, which, this is the fall of black civilization. So at that time, black civilization was a dominant society. The dominant society did not accept the lesser beings, these half-animal people, or what we call tamahu, a created people. They didn't accept them. So now these half-breeds are underdogs. They're the people who are the the bottom of the barrel of society. I think. Okay. Thank you, the wellness mentor. It's been about 30 minutes. I thought so. So now, these people in the lesser of society, everybody has compassion for the underdog. I have compassion for. I don't care what the underdog looks like. I have compassion. I always root for the bad guy, family. I don't know if you understand Crumb's mentality, but I like the bad guy. I root for the bad guy. I resonate with the bad guy. Everybody, the bad guy, in my opinion, he's misunderstood. The bad guy meant well. He wanted to do something, so they resonated with the bad guy. They resonated with the people who were on the bottom and should have stayed on the bottom and should have never even been let to the status of bottom. They should have never to the status of bottom. They should have never even been in the picture as instead of being in the bottom, they shouldn't have been in the picture at all. So now when we're dealing with these underdogs, the mixed breeds allow the underdogs to raid the White House, the governing house. Well, somebody said like Joker and Batman. Now, don't get me wrong, family. I love the Joker, but I would say more so like Killmonger and Black Panther. I was always thinking, and I haven't seen it yet, and I need to do it, and I'm probably shooting myself in the foot right now. I was going to come out with a shirt that said Killmonger was right. I was going to put a joint that said Crumb TV. No. I was going to put a joint. It'll have Killmonger's face, and it'll say Killmonger was right, Crumb TV. Killmonger was right, I resonate with the bad guy. Sorry, family. Sorry. No. Don't get me wrong, family. I saw The Dark Knight. Joker was on point. I don't want you to think Joker was a bad example. Joker was on point. Remember in that scene where Joker was talking to Two-Face, and he said the military kills a man and nobody bats. No, I'm sorry. The military kills 100,000 men. Nobody blinks an eye. But the Joker kills one man and the whole world goes crazy. You don't think I resonated with him? You don't think I resonated with the Joker doing that? I was like, damn, shit. The Joker sounds like Crumb TV. I'm sorry. The Joker sounds like Crumb Snatcher. Joker sounds like his ass need to be, so I resonate with the bad guy, even Joker. Hold on 2 seconds, family. Hold on 2 seconds. Sorry about that. So, yeah, that's right. When he was in the hospital, that's it. So yeah, I do, and somebody also said, it was programming. The Joker was talking about programming at that point. Batman didn't talk about programming, ain't none in that movie. So yes, I do resonate with the bad guy, even Joker, because he understands how the world is programmed, and Batman, didn't understand that. So, yeah, Joker, but yo, that Killmonger movie, that Black Panther movie, shoo, boy, you want to talk about rooting for the bad guy. I was all in. Nonetheless, getting back on topic. So these people started rooting for the bad guys, rooting for the underdogs, and then they let them into the city while their parents were asleep. While their fathers were asleep, they let their mother's brothers in to kill them. According to Chancellor Williams, that was the fall of black civilization. And ever since then, we have always had this relationship, this awkward relationship with light-skinned people, and when after 1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and white people, so-called white people, started going throughout the world, discovering the new world, which was new to them, old to us. They noticed, hey, if we rape these women, the children are going to come out like the other children that helped us get on top in the first place. The children that helped Rome get on top are the same children that's going to, the children that helped the bloodline of Rome get on top are the same children that were going to help the bloodline of Christopher Columbus, or those more so modern day Europeans, get back on top. And that's what we saw in Haiti, where the light-skinned people were helping Napoleon against Dessalines and Toussaint. And this whole idea of colorism is so dangerous. I remember when I was calling out one of our teachers in the black community, so-called black community, or conscious community, or whatever you want to call it, and it was like, Crumb, our people keep attacking each other, and that's the problem with our people. We need more unity. Well, family, I'm not buying that, family, for the simple fact that I know history. I know that everybody who is my skin folk is not my kinfolk. I know that my people suffer from self-hate. I saw Thurgood Marshall when he put Kenneth and Mamie Clark's doll test on the forefront of American society. Just because you look like me does not mean your loyalties align with my loyalties. You have people who are light-skinned who associate and identify with being white, and they don't like black people. They're trying, this is the whole Yaqub story again. There's light-skinned people who look like me who will only date who only date white women, who will only date light-skinned women, who will only have light-skinned women in their rap videos, who will only put the light-skinned woman at the forefront. And then you have brothers who look like me, who will only date sisters. My brother Wasp Red, who was in Mississippi at this time, had shared a fun fact that Kenneth and Mamie Clark are from Mississippi, where he currently resides. Peace to the brother. I appreciate that. I did not know that. I assumed nobody knew about Kenneth and Mamie Clark. So for the fact that somebody even knows about that really encourages me, not alone that they can tell me something more so than what I know. I've never come across anybody who knew more about Kenneth and Mamie Clark than I did, but nonetheless, thank you. I appreciate that. So now when we're dealing with our people, like me, who say, you know what, I'm going to make it my business to only deal with women who look like me. Okay. I don't want to get too far off subject, but matter of fact, screw it, because it's Carbon Force, and I really like that brother. Crumb, I heard Harriet Tubman, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey is in heaven or hell. To white people's standard, where are these black people? Heaven or hell? Oh, okay. I feel like I shouldn't have read that. I don't believe in heaven or hell. Heaven and hell is a state of mind. When I'm being intimate with my woman, I'm in heaven. I remember one time I got locked up, I was in hell. I remember one day it was 109 degrees outside. It's hot as hell. If you say it's hot as hell, you are insinuating hell is a mind state. Hell is a state of mind. So when I say, I remember when it wasn't Fard, W.D. Fard Muhammad, it was his student, Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad said the white man is the devil. And then when white people tried to criticize that, he said not a devil like a demon, like a red person with horns. He embodied the mindset that was evil to degrade a people. A devil is a mindset. Heaven is a mindset. An angel is a mindset. I think, therefore I am. You are thinking like a devil. You are thinking like a god. You're acting like a devil. You're acting like a god. This feels like heaven. This feels like hell. These are all states of mind, not a real place. There is no sky daddy. There is no place up in the sky where you go when you die. There is no hellfire under earth. These are all forms of spookism. It's spookism, family. It's our ancient esoteric science that has been made make-believe and has been degraded, so to speak. So, no, I don't believe in heaven. Yeah, going to work is hell. Going to work, getting off work is heaven. The weekend is heaven. I don't smoke or nothing, but if I got high, I'm on cloud 9, up in the clouds, up there, where heaven is at. I'm in heaven, cloud 9. It's a state of mind. Getting back on point. Yeah, spookism. I don't deal with spookism. I understand God. I understand the devil. Now, this sky daddy with a big beard, white face, white robe, nah. Pitchfork, horns, tail, red skin, sharp teeth, gold teeth, breathe. Nah. That's something that the European has made up that falls under the category of spookism. We're dealing with esoteric science of the ancestors. But I still love my family. Carbon Force is a good friend of mine. I greatly appreciate all the family on the live, whether you agree with me or not, or we have different points of view. That's what makes us special as a people, diversity. Nonetheless, getting back on topic. With that said, family, I just want to kind of go over colorism. I want to talk about how dangerous it is. I want to talk about the history behind it, how we even got to the point of colorism. You know, the doll test, Jim Crow. I'm sorry, I keep saying Jim Crow. Willie Lynch letter. All these things in terms of colorism. All these things about colorism are very dangerous to our people. So I just got a Instagram 2-minute warning mark. I wanted to say to the family, I love you. I appreciate you. Please, give me your opinion. Tell me what you think. Have you experienced colorism? Is colorism worse than racism? Is it not a thing? Is it a thing? Has anybody who looked like you or you thought was a part of your genetic family stabbed you in the back or treated you a different type of way because you didn't fit the description of what they thought our people should look like, or what you should look like, or your mama and your daddy, whatever like that? Let me know. Another thing I like to ask the family to do, share the video. Share the video. Not only like, not only comment, share it with somebody who may know more, who may not understand, whatever like that. With that said, I also want to say, I am on Instagram, I am on Twitter, I am on Facebook. I try to be everywhere you are, but the main place I like to be, I want to be, is YouTube. So not if you liked it, not if you didn't like it, if you learned something, family, go sub on YouTube. Go sub over there, and I've got a bunch more of these. Last thing I wanted to say, I do dedicate a lot of my time to the family. I got kids, I got family, I got a grandma. And with that said, I do these things out of love for you. I give my time because I want to raise the collective consciousness, not just my family. So if you think I'm adding value, my Cash App is #CrumTV. I want to leave you as I came to you, in peace.